Yeah, I think we got to get back to guarding at a high level. We've had, I think for a lot of the last 2 weeks, we've had some really good moments in games, and then we've had some moments where we haven't been at our best, and that's something we talked about. After the Robert Morris game, is this we can't be a team that plays in spurts, and as good as this league is, as many good teams as you see. It takes all 40 minutes to win these games, and that's something that we've got to do a better job of is the level of consistency that we have to have on both ends of the floor, and really, again, particularly the defensive end of the floor. We've got to hang our hat there. That's got to be our identity, rebounding the basketball. Those things can never let us down. And then, in turn, that allows us to be able to play our brand of basketball, get out in transition, which is where we're at our best offensively. So, consistently playing for 40 minutes, playing with a sense of urgency, from the time the ball goes into the air to that last horn sounds is what we've got to do.
Getting DJ back, how does that kind of help you guys with what you want to do?
Yeah, it helps us tremendously. Arguably our best player, a guy that scores a basketball for us, gives us more size. One of our better defenders. And then another guy, he's a guy that's been in our program, so understands maybe, more so than some of the other guys who haven't been here as long, what we're really looking for. So he's certainly an important piece of the puzzle for us.
When you look at EJ, do you expect him back in the second half soon, or you plan to bring him up?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the year, but obviously we're evaluating, at all times, and if we feel like that's going to be the best for our team, then we'll make that adjustment.
Ethan, not to go back to Wednesday, but just to ask you, since this is the first time we've been able to talk to you, did you think that was a foul? You talked to the league about that. How does that all go about if you even do that?
Yeah, certainly I was frustrated at the end of the game. I thought there was two critical calls that went against us in the last minute of the game that impacted our chance to win the game, and that's to take nothing away from Robert Morris. Robert Morris is playing great basketball. They outplayed us for a majority of that game, but I thought our guys showed a lot of fight to give ourselves a chance to win. And I think it's a learning moment for me. It's a teachable moment for our guys, and that was a message when I met with them on Friday and told them I wasn't going to be able to coach in the game. That there's consequences for your actions. Whether I agree or disagree with them, it doesn't matter. There's people who have authority over me that make those decisions. And when you do things that you're not supposed to do, you got to live with the consequences and the responsibility of the people that are making the decisions. But obviously got to be better in that moment and control my emotions. And just like we ask these guys to play with poise, I got to coach with some poise as well.
But like in football, they could send it into the office to say if this was a
Yeah, we do all that. Yeah, and I had a meeting with Julie on Friday afternoon, and she relayed to me that I wasn't going to be able to coach in the game on Friday. But I think certainly got to do a better job in that situation. But also I was certainly frustrated with the last minute of that game.
Do you get explanations though? Like again, back to football, they'll get an explanation. Yeah, we blew the call, or this is why we called it this way. Do you guys get that?
Yeah. We send some clips in when we have questions about whether the call was called accurately or not, and that goes to our guy in charge of the league for the officials, reviews those calls and gives us feedback on those things. And again, sometimes we agree on that, sometimes we disagree. And in that particular play, I had disagreements with what was said. But again, it's you see and again, I don't want to get on a rant about officiating, but obviously there's some frustration across the league with the way the games are being called.
You do have communication.
Correct.
When there's a call like this,
Yeah.
we could be any call. You do have a
Yeah,
communication.
Donnie Epley is our guy who is over the officials at our league. He's great with his communication, always responsive when we have questions about calls that take place throughout the course of the game.
The opponent aside from Friday, coming off that loss, that tough loss, and how do you feel like the team kind of responded from that, and the coaching staff as well? Obviously getting thrust into an unusual situation. How do you feel like they all kind of responded?
Yeah, we did what we needed to do in that game. Obviously got a lot of trust and confidence in our coaching staff. Coach Osborne, Coach Richmond, both have been head coaches, for the last several years. Coach Osborne, almost 20 years, and Coach Richmond was head coach for the last 5 years. And then the rest of our staff is fully capable of leading our team in a situation like that. And I thought our guys did what we needed to do in that game. Responded well. Got to play a lot of guys. Got to play get a lot of guys game reps. And again, it's those games are sometimes a little bit unique in the way that they go in terms of the score. And for us, in those games, we just want to play to our standard. And I thought for the most part we did that.
What do you do in that situation? You're not allowed in the building. Are you home? You watch
Yeah.
the game? Or you...
Yeah, I wasn't allowed in the building an hour prior to the game. So again, I found out Friday afternoon, Friday evening that I wasn't going to be able to coach in the game. So I did not meet with our group until Friday morning because we'd already practiced. So I didn't want to bring them back. So I met with them Friday morning and then watched the game from the couch. I thought that's one of the most unique experiences of my coaching career. It's obviously the first time I've ever watched our team play where I didn't know the outcome of the game. So yeah, it was a little bit of a unique experience watching the game live from home.
You see Rice State, what have you seen from them differently than the first one you were out there?
Yeah, I mean, Rice State's explosive offensively. They got so many weapons on the offensive end of the floor. Maybe the best guard forward duo in the league in Hubris and Noel, but they've got a lot of different weapons. Shoot the ball at an extremely high level. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but top 30 in the country in three-point percentage. Top 50 in the country in overall field goal percentage. Just extremely efficient offensively. Again, a lot of guys who can hurt you in a lot of different ways. So we're going to be very sound defensively in that game. The second half up there at Rice State, thought we played one of our better halves of the year, and it really started on the defensive end of the floor with us holding them to 30 points and a half, which was incredible.
Do you feel like the things from that game that you guys can kind of take to use in this time around? Or do you feel like they'll come at you different? You plan to go at them different? I mean, how does that kind of fit?
Yeah, I think they'll certainly make some adjustments to how we defend them. They're a motion-oriented offense, a team that sets a lot of ball screens. We had to make some adjustments to our ball screen coverage up there, which really helped us. They're going to watch the tape and they're going to see what we did. So we'll have to be prepared for adjustments that they're going to make, which we will be.
Ethan, away from basketball per se, but you were here when they had men and women doubleheaders.
Mm-hmm.
That stopped in 2019. Would you like to kind of see that come back a little bit with conference games?
I think there's pros and cons to it for sure, Dana. I mean, obviously I love it for our fans to be able to be here on one night and watch both teams play. I love being able to be here and support our women's program as well. I would say the cons of that would be, we have a routine that we go through on game day. We're used to playing at 6:30. Our guys are used to, we're used to doing shoot around at a certain time, eating our pregame meal at a certain time. Guys are used to getting in the gym on their own at a certain time. So I do think in some ways it does disrupt our routine a little bit, but there's certainly pros and cons to both sides of it.